I am certified pet professional Amy Lee. The only difference between you and your groomer is knowledge, technique, and tools. It is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the grooming industry. So stay put as we get started on this journey together today. Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I'm so glad to see you. We're switching it up tonight, guys. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, but it is absolutely my pleasure to share the secrets of the pet grooming industry with you so you can provide the same level of quality care for your beloved pets at home as I provide right here in my pet grooming salon to my pet clients. One of my goals here on my YouTube channel is to bring a new voice to the pet grooming industry, and that is one that includes pet owners as valuable consumers and not just pet groomers. With so many people seeking valuable knowledge in order to groom their dogs at home, having a place to learn proper dog grooming techniques, receive professional advice on tools, products, and where to get them is essential. And that is why I created this YouTube channel for you and your pets, my friends. Welcome to Go Groomer on YouTube. It's been a while since I've seen you, and I'm so excited. I'll keep myself in check, no worries. But I want to remind you guys, remember, everyone is welcome here, but only channel members can chat and ask questions. If you want to have your specific dog grooming questions answered and addressed live right here, please join the channel on the toy membership level, which costs $1.99 monthly. And then you can always ask your questions in the live chat every Monday that we are live. So that is something new tonight. Marks the first night we're trying that. And I see so many of our members are here. That is who you're seeing on the chat. I want to remind my members that you are now kind of leading the show a little bit, you know? So definitely bring your questions to the topic, okay? Let's stay on topic every week so that we can bring the most value that we can to all of our friends and viewers every week on the topic. Tonight's topic is how to choose a pet dryer and where to get them. There are many kinds of pet dryers, guys, and we are going to talk about so many of them. I have a demo prepared for you too. So using a dog grooming pet dryer is the key to a beautiful haircut. And most people often overlook that part of the grooming process as being so very important. But it is. Properly drying the dog's coat will allow you to achieve a professional looking haircut for your dog at home, or if you aspire to be a pet groomer, or if you are a pet groomer. Proper drying techniques really can set your work off and show it off and set it apart from competitors or from other groomers. Straightening the hair before trimming is the secret to getting an even, smooth, not choppy finish on the dogs that you groom. But what are your choices when it comes to choosing the right pet dryer for the job? In this video, I will show you all how to choose a pet dryer and where to buy them, and so you can avoid confusion when it comes to selecting the dryer type that you need for your dog's coat style. Okay, I'm going to try to clear up a lot of things for you guys tonight. So let's start tonight off talking about hands-free drying and the benefits of using a dryer that allows you to use both your hands during the drying process. Are you ready? Let's go. The first dryer that we're going to take a look at today, guys, is the DUZ dog dryer that is a hands-free dryer. This is also perfect for mobile groomers who do not have the capability to have a high-powered stand dryer in their mobile grooming van. This sells on Amazon for $219, prime shipping, and I have tested this dryer and it is definitely worthwhile. Let's take a closer look at this dryer. This dryer has 3 fan speeds. It also has 3 heat settings, one of which is no heat at all. That's very nice to have those options on a dryer, guys. But the nice thing about this is it is hands-free, which is very important because when we're grooming dogs, we often have to have one hand on the dog to keep them positioned in the way that we need them to stay so we can dry them with a brush, with a comb. So hands-free is very, very important, guys. Another great attribute dryer is that it is quiet, which means that it is more pleasing to the pet. That's very important when you're choosing a dryer for your pet, guys. So let's take a minute to actually list dryer. I also want you to pay attention to the fact that this dryer is strong enough to actually move the hair all to the skin. And that's important because we need to dry our dogs from the skin out. So if it couldn't move the hair and we could see the skin, then we would not be pleased with the performance of this dryer. However, this dryer is performing perfectly. This dryer comes with a wall mounting accessory. They send that along with the dryer if you would like to mount it on the wall next to your grooming table so that you can raise the dryer up higher than if it were just sitting on your table. So that is kind of a nice option to consider. The hose is very easy to work with on this dryer and it stays in place, which is very important. So when we put the hose where we want it, it stays in place nicely. So we don't have to worry about what the hose is doing. We just have to worry about drying the dog and directing the airflow where we want it. So let's compare that to a commercial grade stand dryer. They are much more expensive, but they're much more powerful and versatile. This is a Schönbau brushless motor stand dryer, commercial grade. This is a professional grade stand dryer. It is much more powerful, much more sturdy, and a lot more flexible when you're using it because it is on a stand. You can actually wheel this all the way around the dog on the table. I have linked this dryer below. You can purchase it from Amazon, Amazon Prime, free shipping. It is $559. I know that's a lot of money, but this dryer is the best hands-free option available to you. And I wanted to make sure that you understand this option is available to you. Stand dryers give you the option to really direct the air where it needs to be so that you can straighten out the coat. That is the purpose of hands-free drying. So we can use both hands with a comb and a brush to straighten the coat as much as possible so we can get a beautiful, beautiful, smooth clip on the dog. And that is what makes using dryers very important to the grooming process. So to compare, does the $219 DUZ dryer produce the same results as the $559 Schönbau commercial grade stand dryer? No, it does not produce the same results as the $559 Schönbau dryer. There is a $340 price difference between these dryers. The Schönbau is much more powerful. However, both of them have really decent heat controls, heat settings, meaning, you know, low, medium, high. Now the Schönbau has a variable speed, which gives you even more control over the heat setting. But the power that you get from this dryer, you can't get from the DUZ dryer or anything else other than another commercial grade stand dryer. Did you ever notice how soft, fluffy, and beautiful your dog is when you pick it up from the groomer? The prerequisite to a flawless fluff dry is definitely the perfectly prepared coat. The next magical method of drying your dog is a high velocity force dryer. This is one of the safest methods of drying your dog because it does not use a heated element. It basically forces the water from the skin away from your dog's coat, drying your dog 10 times faster than you could with any fluff dryer. Another benefit to using a force dryer is it allows you to see right to your dog's skin, and it will tell you if there's any irritation or ticks or problems that you should be aware of. It's just a great tool. Not to mention the de-shedding properties this force dryer has on a double coat, such as this Newfoundland or a Bernese Mountain Dog or a Golden Retriever. This will de-shed your dog, all while detangling and aerating your dog's coat, which makes it extremely fluffy. A force dryer is an investment when it comes to double-coated breeds, especially considering it often has skin allergies, and it is really just due to the coat not being properly. I'm here to tell you that force dryer will to you too, and it's linked in the description, one that I use in my shop every day. It sells for around $179. It has a switch for slight warming, and it is also a variable speed blower, which gives you the power to control the airflow. So whether you're drying an 8-pound Yorkie or a 150-pound Newfoundland, you have the power to adjust the speed of the airflow, which really gives you a lot of control. Speaking of airflow, this dryer comes with 3 different condenser nozzles, and of course you can always use it without a condenser nozzle at all. And with all these options, it makes this particular force dryer model the only force dryer you would need to dry any size of a dog with any coat type. One of the secrets to a professional looking groom is definitely the use of force dryers. They not only quickly and safely remove all the water from the coat, you have the option to use a force dryer as a stand fluff dryer too, which is a true industry secret to preparing your dog's coat for trimming. Until now, you would only find force dryers in the hands of professional pet groomers. But lucky for you, this dryer was made for you and your pet. Dry a dog as small as a Yorkie all the way to a large, heavy-coated golden doodle in less than 12 minutes. This dryer comes with several nozzle attachments, which definitely sets you up to groom any dog, no matter what breed or coat type you'll be dealing with. Before we go any further, I just want to state that I am not affiliated with this product in any way. I am only reviewing it so that it can help you groom your pets at home like a professional. It is very easy to set up. All attachments securely connect, ensuring that you and your pet will have a positive drying experience. Let me walk you through the options that come standard on this model. As soon as you turn it on, you can hear the quality and the power that this product provides. The adjustable speed control gives you full control of the airflow, allowing you to quickly slow it down or speed it up depending on your drying needs, as well as adapting to your dog's tolerance to force dryer. It also has an additional heat switch, which allows you to add a little bit more warmth to the drying process. If you use the optional heat setting, you should turn the speed to at least half power, because that will keep the motor from overheating. The motor housing is very well insulated and well constructed. The only maintenance on this machine is to periodically remove the protector over the filter and make sure there's no hair clogging your filter, and clean it and replace it, and you're up and running again. And that is the only maintenance on this machine. I'm very impressed. After you clean the filter, you simply just screw on the filter plate again and off you go. For those of you who don't understand all the different nozzle attachments, let me explain the benefits that each one has to offer. The finger nozzle is definitely beneficial to a double-coated dog or a dog that is a moderate to heavy shedding dog breed. It will help you pick through the undercoat and blow it out of the coat at the same time, while your standard round nozzle is really going to be your go-to for most dog breeds. The flat nozzle is really nice to use on our flat-coated breeds or our sporting breeds, you know, like a golden retriever or our Springer Spaniels. That type of coat type, it just helps the coat lay flat as it dries it, forcing the water off the coat from the top coat instead of from the skin out. And then we have the ultra condensed wide nozzle, which will definitely be good for your heavier coated dogs like a Newfoundland or Bernese Mountain Dog. This nozzle will blow out undercoat while helping the coat lay flat at the same time. Having all these options in one package sets you up for successful grooming no matter what breed you're going to be working with, which is exactly why I chose to demo this product for you today, my friends. So we've learned that we can dry the tiniest of dogs right to the largest, most heaviest coated dog that we can get our hands on. We can use this dryer for that, but what else can we do with this dryer? There's one more thing I want to show you guys that is a huge benefit to this product. and that is the ability to use it as a fluff dryer as well. Typically in the grooming industry, professionals would use a stand dryer to fluff dry dogs. Stand dryers are very expensive. Let me show you how to use this dryer to achieve the same results at home. To do this, you completely remove the nozzle from your hose, and now you're using it as an open-ended hose. That produces an airflow that mimics a stand dryer. Coupled in with the warmth from the blower motor, you now have yourself a stand dryer, and you can fluff dry a dog just like a professional dog groomer. Stand dryers range from $500 all the way up to $1,000 alone, and force dryers range from $200 all the way up to $600 or more. Having all the options of both dryers in one machine is absolutely priceless. I feel like it would definitely stand up to the test of time and last for quite a while, even for the professional pet groomer who uses it every day. I myself am a professional dog groomer, and that's why I'm doing this review for you guys today, because I want pet owners to know that there are quality products out there for you. Same results at home as professionals are getting in the grooming salons, and this is a very affordable option. So I will link all the information I have on this product in the description below in hopes that you can find it and purchase it for yourself and definitely reap from the benefits of using this machine. Now for our third drying method today, and I'm very excited to share this one with you guys. This pet dryer is a dryer and slicker brush in one. It's a combination. I really like it. It has adjustable temperature settings, 2 adjustable temperature settings, and it's really good for your short-haired breeds, your medium-coated breeds, your long silky breeds. It does a beautiful job. It also does a great job on ears and tails. Combining a slicker brush with a hair dryer is a great idea to fluff dry your dog and have your dog just look really fluffy and silky and professional. It does a really neat job, and the dogs seem to enjoy it. Fluffing up those top knots on our poodles, or just completely fluff drying your poodle, period. This is a great little tool, and it's so inexpensive. So obviously everybody can't afford a professional grade stand dryer, and this would kind of replace that. And as we know, slicker brushes do wear out, and you can buy replacement slicker brush heads for this dryer. I think it's brilliant. Inexpensive, effective way to fluff dry your dog. I want to share with you the only method of drying your dog that I definitely discourage: cage dryers. Cage dryers are dangerous, and let me tell you why. You may be unaware that most groomers use cage dryers in their shops. These dryers can be very dangerous because the dogs are put into cages with the dryers hooked onto the front of the crate. So keep in mind that some dogs are not even accustomed to being in crates at home or anywhere. They're just not used to it. So they're already upset about being in the crate with this loud, forced dryer blowing hot air on them in a crate. This is a recipe for disaster. The dog may be upset, his body temperature is up, he can't cool himself down, maybe he has an underlying health problem that nobody's aware of. Guess what? He could have a heat stroke. It's not worth the risk. I plead with all groomers to please trade in your cage dryers for safe practices like hand drying, force drying, fluff drying on the table when you're with the dog at all times. Please consider this and charge for it. You deserve to get paid for the work you do. Pet grooming is a very, very rewarding career, but it is also a very challenging career, and I commend all there. They work hard. We are essential, and pets need us. It's up to us as professionals to do the best that we can for them while they are in our care. Thank you for joining me today. Groom safely, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about, right, guys? I saw we had a great question to start things off with, so I'm going to scoot right up there and address that. I believe that was, I had it marked and it just jumped away. Give me a second. That was a great way to start off our conversations. Katie Marie says, I have a flying pig force dryer, which is a great force dryer, with the hose. Can you buy something to hold the hose for you to use it as a stand dryer? But should you not use it as a stand dryer, she's saying, is it capable? It does not dry exactly the same as a stand dryer, because a stand dryer or the DUZ dryer behind me, they use a heated element like our hair dryers. And the same with this little guy. This uses a heated element. So that is the difference with your forced dryers, the forced air dryers. They can produce some warmth, which is just the heat from the motor. That's it. They don't have a heat element. So you won't get that stick straight effect when you dry a dog, you know, like when you're blowing out your own hair. You need that heat to blow it out and take away the curl and make it straight. So, but here's the thing, Katie. You can use a forced dryer to act as a hands-free fluff dryer. Schönbau has an additional stand that you can purchase. I know it fits their Super Cyclone dryers and probably some of their other models that are similar to that Flying Pig model. So it may be possible that their stand would work with the dryer that you already have. And what that is it allows you to mount the dryer on the stand, and you can use, it has an additional arm that attaches to it. I don't know if it'll work with the Flying Pig, but you can reach out to Schönbau and find out. And then you can turn that into kind of a, well, you can turn it into basically a hands-free dryer. It's not going to dry the same as our stand dryers because they have heated elements in them. So they're really going to straighten out that coat. But the forced dryer has more power to push through the coat. You know, it's a little different. And when you open up the condenser nozzle on your forced dryer, like, here, let me show you. No, not on this guy. On the, this is the Super Cyclone. So I can take this off and use this. Now, since I took the condenser off, this creates a larger airflow that will not be as concentrated and as powerful as it is when we have our condenser on, because you see that condenses the airflow. So what I do oftentimes is I just hold this, I have it under my arm right now, and I just kind of guide it with this arm, and I use my brush, and I brush the dog. As long as they're properly harnessed on the table, they're safe, and they're not going to go anywhere. And then I kind of do fluff dry my dogs, even right after I'm done force drying them. I'll pop this nozzle off and do that. And that works out really, really nice. I do that on a lot of heavier coated dogs. I also do that specifically on double coated breeds where I'm trying to blow out that undercoat and remove it. So after the dog is really like 95% dry with the force dryer, I'll remove the air condenser at the end of the force dryer, and I'll use it and start brushing with a pin brush or a slicker brush to just remove the last little bit of undercoat that willingly wants to come out. And that's the best way to de-shed your dog, is to not force out the hair with de-shedding combs and rakes, especially on a double coat. Only take what willingly wants to come. Court Jester, you have a double coated dog, and I'm sure you use this practice. I know you have a force dryer too. So that would be a nice way to safely de-shed your dog when they're 95% dry from force drying. Then you grab that pin brush or your slicker brush or even your comb, your dog grooming comb, and use the open nozzle on your force dryer and start picking out that little bit of undercoat that's left. So yeah, Katie, that's the difference there between stand dryers and force dryers. You can kind of you can convert it a little bit to a stand dryer. There are options and ways you can do that. However, you will not get the same effect from a force dryer as you would from a dryer that has a heated element in it that's really going to straighten out the coat. And also, you probably would want to avoid anything around the ears especially, because force dryers are a little bit more powerful as far as the air that they push versus our stand dryers. They're meant to just be like a slower constant flow of air. So that's a great question, and I hope that helps many other people. So another thing I wanted to say to, I know a lot of you have force dryers, And that Amy dryer right there that I demoed, now they have since upgraded it so it has even more features. It's still a fantastic price. There's 3 levels of that dryer, and I've linked them all in the description below. So even if you have a very small dog or a medium coated dog, medium sized dog, you may want to go for the cheaper dryer. The one I think is only $70 with Amazon Prime shipping. So but that is for a very small dog, okay? Don't go and try to dry your Labrador or your Golden Retriever with that cheaper dryer. It doesn't have the power, okay, to blow out that undercoat, because that's what you're going to want. But one thing we can use our force dryers for, and you've probably seen people, if you watch people detail cars on YouTube, or if you know somebody who details cars, they use a little portable high velocity dryer like ours. Actually, they are the same thing, just packaged for pet grooming or for auto detailing. But they use them a lot to force the water, because it's a high velocity dryer, force the water off the car while you're drying it with your chamois, you know, so that you don't get any spots on your cars. So guys, for those of you that have purchased force dryers for your pets, don't forget you can use it to help dry your car and detail your car and get that spot-free finish. It's also great for when you're cleaning in the rims of your car. So you clean it all up, you wash it, you rinse the soap off with water, and then you force dry the water out of those rims so you get a nice spot-free finish. It's really nice. So there you go. There's a little something extra for you. So let me just take your questions. We're taking questions tonight from members. Our members are the only people who are allowed to chat, but everybody's welcome to the live stream tonight. It just keeps us, by allowing my members to chat, it just keeps things a little easier for me to follow in the live stream and keeps our topic flowing with the questions that our members are asking. So I see Katie has another question. She says, the note about using at least half power on the force dryer when you have the heat option on so that you don't overheat the blower, is that for all brands? I would say it, yes. I know specifically the Amy dryer clarified that in their instructions, that they suggest you have it, that you use the dryer on at least half power if you're going to use the heat setting. You don't have to use the heat setting, but if you're going to, because it could overheat the motor and then it could just seize up. So, you know, it could ruin your dryer, I guess. So as a rule of thumb, guys, typically that's what I do. I usually do, even on my, I have the Schernbeo Super Cyclone dryer too. You guys know that. And that has a heat option as well. So I usually make sure that I'm about half speed, half power when I turn the heat on, so that I know there's enough airflow blowing through there. It's not going to heat up the motor. You can always reach out to the manufacturer by sending them an email, guys, of whomever manufactures your dryers, because there's so many different brands, and clarify that, you know, you should be using it at half power before using the heat setting. So Ashley Hoot says, my flying pig has a heated element in it. Yes, just like that Amy dryer does. I use it as a fluff dryer on the stand with a hard arm. So in other words, Ashley, does the flying pig have those accessories to be purchased separately, or did you use another brand that has the hard arm? Does it work with the flying pig, or does it have to be a flying pig brand that converts it to the stand dryer as well? Can you let us know that, Ashley, because that would be very helpful, because I don't have all of those attachments and everything for me to give you guys the details and to you know, be able to tell you exactly that that's the way it goes. So you're welcome, Katie, very much so. It's my pleasure. Jane Collins says, I usually use my hair dryer on a low setting. I bought a stand to hold it. Yes, there are stands. I'm glad you brought that up. Guys, there are stands to hold our handheld hair dryers for pets, or our dryers. And it does make it easier to be hands-free. But just remember that our hair dryers can get quite hot, but they usually have a low, medium, and high setting of heat. So just keep in mind not to get that heat flow too close to the dog, as well as just adjust it to a medium heat setting so it's not going to be too hot and hard on the skin. So Jane says she bought that stand to hold it, which works really good. She said, I haven't tried it yet. What are your thoughts? Would the slicker brush be better on my Shih Tzu and my mini Schnauzer? Not necessarily. I think the hands-free option would be actually really, really nice, Jane, because even with this one, it's a little bigger, like the size of a dryer when you're holding it. And it still may be handy for you to be able to be hands-free to, you know, help calm your dog while you're brushing them and the air is blowing on them. So I'd say definitely try that, Jane, before you would go and purchase this guy. And this guy's nice, but it has its downfalls. It's kind of big. Some dogs don't like it. When I'm doing a bigger dog and fluffing him out, it's fantastic. But, you know, if you look at the size of it, you know, your little Shih Tzu or your little Schnauzer, they might find it a little bulky. I haven't noticed that. Most dogs seem to tolerate it just fine and they like it. So I think it's a great option because it is an inexpensive option that works well, and I have used it. I also use it on dogs that don't really like any noise or anything around their head. They seem to tolerate this dryer. You know, it's quiet, it's pretty gentle. So I love having those options available. So if you're grooming your own dog yourself, you have to, you know, realize what they're willing to tolerate. Some dogs don't tolerate force dryers very well, in which case there are sound deadening hoods that you can get for your dogs. You can get happy hoodies. You can also get just little swaddling, these little swaddle things that go around their ears that sort of calm them during the drying process. But here's the thing, eventually you got to take that off and dry the ears and the muzzle and the face and the top of the head. So you have to find a way to work with them and comfort them so that they can be okay with being blow dried, especially around their face, because that's how we get those nice straight fluffy ears and straight top knots. Katie says, I always have a lot of questions. It's okay. That's why we're here, Katie. Thank you so much. I've always used my dryer on low power setting and low heat setting, so that I'm glad I learned that before blowing out the motor. Yeah, no doubt. No, you're good. If you're going to use the heat setting, just crank up the airflow a little bit on your dryer, the air speed, so you don't blow up your motor. I think it would take a lot to blow up that motor, but I would rather you guys, you know, fall on the side of caution than lose a piece of equipment that you really like and need, you know. So, hello, we have, it's Scarm is a new member. Welcome. Glad to have you here. If you got a question, type it. Let's get you an answer. Ashley Hoot says, yes, you can purchase those separately. They are the Flying Pig brand. There you go. Thank you, Ashley. And that answers Katie's question much earlier. So even if you have a Flying Pig brand of force dryer, they make that conversion kit into a stand dryer, so you can use it both ways. That's fantastic. Thank you, Ashley. That's what makes us better together. Scarm, am I saying that way? Scarm. Okay. Scarm says, hi, I've been trying to get a hold of you when you can. Can you email me back in trying to cute my puppies, and I trust you most on what you do. So you want some ideas of how to make your puppies cuter. Yes. If you have already emailed me, I will get to it. I'll go through my emails and look for you. I did just get back to a follower this week who has she has a mix. It's kind of like a Shih Tzu mixed with some type of terrier or something like that. But her question was this. So the dog has real scraggly hair because it is mixed with a terrier. And we know terriers have that sort of sparse, wispy coat type often. So this particular dog has wispy hair. It doesn't get real full, you know, and long and full all the way as it grows out. And the top is real thin, so as it grows a little bit, it just falls. It doesn't stand up. It doesn't do anything. It just kind of falls. And she says, well, what should I do? And in that case, I often, when a dog has really thin hair on top, but we want to do something cute with the face, I like to take the top of the head shorter and leave it, you know, maybe like a 1/2 of an inch, as well as the cheeks. I like to take the cheeks from the corner of the muzzle to the corner of the eye back. I like to take that off, take this off, both of those with a 1/2 inch, and leave a nice little cute muzzle and fuller ears that just sort of spray out from that shorter top knot that we just created. And by cutting that hair shorter that just wants to fall and it doesn't stand up nicely, by cutting it shorter, it looks tidier and it doesn't look out of sorts. It looks like it belongs. So that is what I suggested to her. Type in what I can do to help you. Honey, I can talk to you right now, Scarm. I can talk to you right now and get you some help that you need, okay? So tell me what it is you're struggling with. Type it in the chat right now. I'm sure we can help other people that probably are struggling with some of the same issues that you are too. So let's just get chatty. Let's be better together. So that was one person that I did get back to and was suggesting that, hey, look, we have to realize when our dogs have a certain coat type, we can't change that. We have, instead of working against it, we have to work with it. And in that case, with a dog that has very sparse hair, like another one of our friends here, Latricia, if you're going to watch this on the replay, your dog Spice has very thin hair and it just wants to fall. I know you always say, what can I do? I don't know what to do. The first thing I want to tell you guys is on topic tonight. Straighten it out when you dry it as much as possible. Straighten it out with the heated dryer so that we can get a straight, something straight to scissor so that we have a nice perfected look. But usually you want to go shorter on those, on the top of the head, on those dogs that the hair just falls. It doesn't do anything. And I usually take the cheeks shorter to level this out. Leave a fuller beard and a prettier ear that comes down and out. Okay? So that's a good way to tidy up those dogs that have that awkward coat type that you just don't know what to do with. Trust me, it actually looks adorable and they really look well done. You know, it looks great on them. CMM says, can I ask an off-topic question? Yes, you can. I have an impending purchase depending on an answer. Okay, let's have it. I have an impending purchase depending on an answer. Okay, what can I do to help you, CMM? Type it in the chat. And Scarm, I'm waiting to hear what you're struggling with. You look very frustrated. You have a little teardrop coming down. That means you're very frustrated. What is it specifically that you're struggling with? Don't tell me 500 things. Let's address things one thing at a time so that I know that you can really get it, okay? Caden says, hey, I'm a new member and welcome. I saw you just joined, Caden. Glad to have you here. Says, I am just learning. We took my Golden to the groomer and we were not happy, so I'm looking to start grooming her myself. Nothing wrong with that. I'm 18 and I'm also looking to open my salon in the future. Caden, that's fantastic. And this community is going to prove to be very helpful to you. This is a very close community, a very helpful group of people. I have a private Facebook group. It's called Go Groomers Private Facebook group. I really suggest you go join that because there's a lot of good support and help there, okay? So having a place to go when you're new and you have questions or your frustrations, you know, you don't know where to go with it, that's important. And that's why we are doing what we're doing here. We are supporting each other and helping each other. Pet grooming is not easy and there's so much to learn. I am constantly learning every day and I'll never stop. I enjoy learning new, inventive ways to sharpen my skills. point blank. Sharpen my skills so I do better work. I always want to do better every time I groom a dog. So CMM says, Amy, I need to buy a second 7F C blade, okay, 7F finish cut blade, because mine gets too hot. Agreed. Okay, I have an Andis ceramic edge 7FC. Should I get this? Should I get a second the same, or can I try a wall competition series? You can. Typically, a 7F means finish cut. FC means finish cut. You don't want to get a skip tooth. That's the only blade you want to avoid. I don't use them. I feel there's no place for them. I understand where they use them, but I don't think it's necessary. So always avoid the skip tooth blades. So if you're using an Andis 7F or 7F blade and you want to try a wall competition series 7F, it's fine. Go ahead. 7F finish cut is fine. The length should be the same. You really shouldn't see a problem with that. I think that's the question you're asking, CMMs, that you want to try the wall competition series, but you already have the Andis blade. Is it going to produce the same length? And it should. In fact, blades have the millimeters on the back of every blade. So when you, like if you went to Groomer's Choice to purchase that blade and you click on the 7F blade that you want to purchase, when you click on it, there's usually a couple pictures. One of them should show you the back of the blade that has the text on it that tells you the millimeters of the cut. So you want to just make sure that your Andis ceramic 7FC is the same millimeter as the one you're purchasing, and then that's the same length. So it's written in millimeters, so it's on the back of every blade, guys. So you should always be able to find that. Donna Livingston says, off topic, that's okay, but I've missed you. Where you been, woman? Oh, man. Well, have you followed my last live streams? I made some announcements in my last live stream, and that was 2 weeks ago, that we are only going to go live. That might have been 3 weeks ago. Last weekend was my kids' prom, so we really had a lot going on, and I had a lot going on during the week leading up to that, as well as working. And I just couldn't squeeze a live. I couldn't take Monday to do a live stream last week. That's all. But we are going to, our focus is every other week to be live here from the grooming table, and channel members are the only ones who are allowed to chat. And if you want to ask your questions live in the chat, you can join the channel member at the toy membership to only have those chat privileges. The Hound memberships are the memberships that get the private Zoom sessions with our Hound group. So that's the difference between the two groups. But so that's that. Yeah, it's just been a busy time, but we're back on schedule now, I believe. In fact, I'm going to look here. Our next live from the grooming table is scheduled for Monday, May 23rd. So that will be the week before the holiday. So that's perfect. So it shouldn't take us off schedule. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm trying to continue to produce videos, you know, and working in my dog grooming salon, plus all the appointments that I had to keep up with last week. It was a busy week, so but prom turned out to be beautiful. The kids look great. They had a great time. Everybody's safe. Everybody's happy. And I'm happy. The kids look great and had a good time. So now, CMM says never a skip tooth. Nope, never, never, never. I don't even know why they make them. I wish somebody would tell me why they make them. No, I know why they make them. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to talk to you about it because you guys are probably like, maybe I should use that. No, you shouldn't. So I'm not even going to talk about it. I don't use them either, and I'm a professional. Yes, Donna, May 23rd will be our next live from the grooming table at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So mark it in your calendars. We're going to be trying to do every 2 weeks live from the grooming table. So, you know, on the topic of dryers, guys, I do want to tell you that I did do a comparison video with this DUZ dryer and another similar dryer that is the same type of hands-free, blah, blah, blah. And I have a comparison video coming on that. It should be released probably about 2 days from now. It's just going to be a standalone video. It's not a live stream. But so for those of you that may be interested in the DUZ dryer and want to see it in a little more detail, you're going to want to see that video when it comes out. The other dryer that I demoed, which started the whole video the whole reason why I did the video, I bought the DUZ dryer myself after I was sent this other dryer. The company asked to send it to me to see if I would review it, and I looked at it. I went and looked at it on the website, and I thought, that seems comparable to this dryer, and it was probably about $60, $70 cheaper. So I thought, yes, I want to demo that for you guys. I want to see if it works. I don't need the DUZ dryer. I don't need that dryer that they sent me. I wanted to do it for you guys because these are nice dryers for mobile groomers or for home groomers because, you know, they do a nice job. So that video is coming out, guys, this week, and I've been working on that. So our Elsie loves the DUZ dryer. It really is a great little dryer. If I were to use it in the shop often, what I would probably do is have a drying station table that is against a wall, and I would prefer to mount that, and it comes with the mounting brackets and everything you need to mount that DUZ dryer. It comes with all that when you purchase it. I would mount it probably up about 1.5 feet from the table, and that way I can easily get the top of the head and the ears. I feel like if it was elevated a little, it would be even more handy. So if I was going to use it, and I don't know, I may create a separate drying station in here for fun and do that and mount that DUZ dryer and use it that way. The hands-free, you can't beat it. But I do have a commercial grade stand dryer. I've had this at Demco for years. They don't make a Demco's anymore, guys. So if anybody's like, where can I get the one you have? You can't. They don't make it anymore. So right now, the Schernbauer dryer has the one I showed you in the demo tonight, and they also have one that's a step up from that. It's more like $800 and some. And that one would be exactly comparable to this, probably. This guy's a powerhouse. And he was $700 some when I bought it 20 years ago. It's just, you can't kill that dryer. So I'm not replacing it. I don't need to. You know, I'm keeping it. It's a good dryer. But you can't buy them anymore. Demco does not make dryers. They don't make tables. They don't make anything anymore. I guess they're out of business. We can thank COVID for that. Not thank COVID. I'm not thankful for COVID for anything. But, yeah. So the dryer video is coming out this week, guys. I really want to see a little bit more about the DUZ dryer and the other dryer that I am not telling you what it is, because you'll have to watch the video. It's new and on the market. And does it compare to the DUZ dryer? There is a price difference between the two. So I put them both to work, and we'll let you be the judge of that, as well as I give you all my thoughts on it. I do notice that the DUZ dryer and the other dryer that I'm going to be demoing, they really do work best on our smaller breeds because that hose is only so tall. You can only bring it up so high. It has some good power, but not great power, you know, but it's okay for the price. But let's face it, $220, that is not cheap, in my opinion. It's not cheap. And I did reach out to DUZ and ask them if they would send me a dryer, because I was going to be comparing it with another dryer on the market. And I told them out of the gate, I said, I feel like your dryer is a better dryer, and I would really like to put these dryers up against each other in a video for my viewers. And I don't know if they took a look to see who I was or anything, but they're like, no, we're good with all of our what did they call that, affiliates and brand ambassadors. I wasn't looking to affiliate. I just wanted to review the dryer. Just send me the dryer. I don't need it. They wouldn't do it. They said, no, thanks, whatever. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to buy it anyway. So I bought it. So at some point, I may just end up giving that to one of you guys, okay? Because I didn't need it. I bought it to review it. It did cost me $230 with tax. So that's unfortunate that DUZ would not send me that dryer, because I noticed that they have had other people review it that didn't really do a very good job of reviewing it. I'm thinking, Maybe they don't know how I do reviews. I don't know, but I was surprised because I thought I could really make your product, I could showcase it very well. And that's why I reached out to them and I told them that. So whatever, I'm good. I'm good with spending $230, I guess, right? Hopefully that video will make some money, then I won't care. But anyway, so let's get back to you guys. Katie says, in another video you had talked about how you can damage the hair follicle if you dry against the hair grain. Yes. Okay, I'll talk about that in a second. Good question. I tend to wave the dryer back and forth, especially for D-sheds. Okay, good. On D-sheds, what you do is, so when we're coming down, let's say this is the back of the golden retriever. Here's his head. He's facing that way. So we're drying down the back of the golden retriever. When we want to, we want that back coat to lay flat. So we come down it like this. We lift up so we're not hard against the follicle. Lift up, come back, bring it down. Lift up, come back, bring it down. That's how we avoid blasting those hair follicles in a backwards direction. And it can damage them. And I want you guys to know that, because I'm not saying it will, but it can. And when damage is done, right? So, and that doesn't really go for, like, say, for fluff drying the top knot on a poodle. You can brush in both directions. Just don't brush aggressively, okay? You can do that. With a dog's coat that lies flat, like, say, a golden retriever, a Bernese Mountain Dog, never brush it in the opposite direction. For one, you're going to make the coat stand up. We want it to lay flat and look pretty. Secondly, you can damage that follicle. The double coat has a different type of follicle itself because the top coat is harsher than, say, a single coated dog. So I know it gets complicated, but there is methods to the madness. I get it. So we share all that. I don't want you guys to ever think that I withhold any information from you guys. Katie also says, is this a bad technique? Is there a better way to only groom with the lay of the coat? Like I just showed you, definitely. Especially when we're talking about force dryers. So that's how you force dry with the lay of the coat. You put some distance between your skin, their skin and the dryer, come back up, and then get closer. All right, that's how you do that. And Donna says, did you know about follicle drying? Did you know about follicle drying? I don't know what you mean, follicle drying. I don't know what you mean. Janelle says, I found you because of no groomer during COVID. No doubt. The only good thing about COVID for me was us finding each other. And that is how I found many of you, and you found me, was during COVID, because you guys needed help maintaining your dogs. They were getting dirty, matted, you name it, because groomers weren't allowed to be opened, and it was just a very bad time for businesses, and a lot of companies never reopened. It's so sad. They just couldn't survive that hit financially. It's sad. It devastated, you guys know. I don't have to explain the devastation. I'm sure everybody has felt some type of devastation due to COVID, right? So I never did see, Scarm had, I tried to add her there too, but thank you. I was trying to see where I could help you. You sounded like you have some real issues with grooming, and you want some answers, but I didn't see. So you can email me too. My email is in the description of every video, guys. I get a lot of emails, so sometimes it takes me a while to sift through them and find them, So especially some people I don't get back to just because they ask simple questions that I answer every day in my videos. So I just can't take the time to sit and write emails all the time. I wouldn't get anything else done. I wouldn't add any more value. CMM says, Amy, save the dues for another dryer for prizes for $200. I thought about that, absolutely. That and some other things I want to start bringing to the table for you guys. I thought about that too. I thought that DUZ dryer would make for a great giveaway, especially, you know, a lot of you that groom your own dogs, or even if you're a pet groomer. I think it'd be great for a mobile groomer, the DUZ dryer, because they really only use force dryers in mobile grooming, and you really can't dry those fluffy faces like you need to with a force dryer, and dogs don't like it all the time, you know. I agree, CMM. So that would be a wonderful giveaway. Now, is there any more questions on topic? I'm trying to think if there was anything I forgot to share with you guys about dryers. I'm sure there is. There's so many cool things to share when it comes to drying. I feel like drying our dogs it's just as important as the bathing. And you guys know I stress about the bathing and conditioning. Always condition every dog. And I really feel like drying really the way we dry our dogs after we've bathed them and conditioned them, it really sets us up for success with our grooming. If we don't properly dry them, the coat's wrinkly and crinkly and we can't get a smooth cut. If we're trimming, you know, the ears and the top knot nice and pretty, but the hair is not dried and pulled straight and dried properly before we trim it, we won't get that perfect, beautiful look. If you want to scissor anything, you have to straighten it out. You can always curl it back up afterwards, say if it's a wavy coat like a doodle or a Portuguese water dog. You can always mist water back into the coat and scrunch it to get that wavy look after you've trimmed it. So you would want to straighten out the coat first with the dryer, give the dog the full haircut, and then scrunch it back in. So you've put the shape on the dog, right? So drying is very, very important when it comes to producing professional looking grooms. So I feel that it's very important that I really emphasize the drying process. And that's why we did this video. Katie says, is there anything specific that you've seen people do that should be avoided? Things that may seem like a good idea, but can be dangerous or work against you later, if that makes sense. Yes, great question. Katie, one of the worst things that a lot of people do and feel is okay is they feel, oh, I'll just give my husky a summer trim once a year. It's only once a year. Nope. You're going to damage the coat. Absolutely damage it. Never, ever can you clip a double-coated dog. Not even once a year. To think, oh, it's only once a year, that's not so bad, right? It won't ruin the coat. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And depending on what time of the year it is, a double-coated dog that has a top coat like that top coat can go dormant. This is very true, holds true for Pomeranians. When I say the top coat goes dormant, there's a period of time where the top coat doesn't do anything, doesn't grow. It's just, it grows and then it stays that way for months. If we cut into that coat at the time when it's dormant, and we don't always know when that is, but the undercoat is not dormant, so the undercoat will outgrow the top coat forever. It's just, okay, so that's one of the things, Katie, I would say, always avoid clipping into a double coat with a clippers or going too short. Even a guard comb is too short. If you're going shorter than, so the top coat is here, the undercoat is here. If you're taking that top coat down to the level of equal to the undercoat, oftentimes the undercoat is going to grow out faster than the top coat. So you've ruined it. Other things to avoid. Let's think about on topic with drying. One thing to avoid with dryers is to have the dryer too close to the skin. So you'll notice, guys, if you watch a professional dry a dog, and they're using a hands-free dryer like this one or this one, you'll notice they have their guiding head as they're brushing. And they never just sit there like this over and over and over and brush in the same spot, because that can cause brush burn, really irritate the skin. You'll also notice they're constantly kind of tipping the head slightly a little bit. That is to keep that air from just and heating up the skin. So they're moving it to get to every now and then get the skin away from that heat. So when you're drying a dog, don't put the dryer too close to the skin, especially a force dryer or a stand dryer or hands-free dryer that gets pretty hot. So if it's that close, that's pretty close. And if you are going to need to be that close, then you have to keep moving the dog out of the airflow because you could damage the skin and burn them. You could burn them. All right, and Caden says, not related to dryers, but my golden has sensitive skin. Do you think Tropiclean Hypoallergenic is a good choice for her? And does it clean well for other dogs who don't have sensitive skin? I love your question. I've told my audiences so many times, I love the Tropiclean Hypoallergenic puppy shampoo. It's not just for puppies. It's gentle and it cleans beautifully. You can use it on any coat, any coat. Senior dogs, young dogs, double coats, single coats, it's fine. Yes. Don't let that scare you guys. The puppy hypoallergenic, that sensitive skin, that kind of thing only has to be used on a dog with a sensitive skin. No. And that particular product we're talking about, Tropiclean Hypoallergenic Puppy, it cleans very well. So yeah, go for it. Use it. Just always follow up every shampoo with a condition and over rinse all the product out. Katie says, I have a Pomeranian and a Golden Chow coming to me for coat restorations. Let me just scoot up here. After a groomer in town shaved them down without owner's permission. So sad. Gave the poor Chow hot spots. Yeah, it will. And her whole body all over her whole body for 2 years. It will, because the coat is the protection of the skin. Dogs have their coat for a reason. It is our job to figure out how to properly maintain each coat type and not just shave it off. The dog needs their coat. Even in the summer months, the dogs need that coat to regulate their body temperature. People are misunderstood about that. So the best thing to do for any dog, thick coat, double coat, thin coat, whatever, is always have them on a bathing and brushing drying schedule for about every 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. If it's a dog that doesn't require a haircut, 6 weeks. Get the dog with the groomer on a constant schedule for 6 weeks, every 6 weeks, so that you can keep that coat maintained and you don't need to shave it. That's what people think they need to shave it. You don't. And hey, you may or may not be able to restore that coat back to the health that it should have. I've had a Pomeranian in the past that I worked for 2 years to try to restore the coat after it was shaved many, many times by the owner, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. They came in every 4 weeks too. They finally understood what I was saying, and they were wanting to fix the coats. They were willing to come every 4 weeks, but we could not do it. So usually once it's damaged, guys. It's done. Donna says, my neighbor is a certified master mobile groomer, and she puts the force dryer directly on the dog's skin. She told me that was her cheat. No, wait a minute. No, Donna, that's okay. Not like on the skin. I mean, it has to be slightly away, because the force dryer itself can't function that way. If it's right up against the skin, it'll blow back and blow out the motor. But, you know, getting close to the skin, yes, absolutely. And moving slowly, as long as it's not on master blaster speed. Okay? And if it's a very thick coat type, you may have to get that close, or you may have to back it off if it's a longer coat, or you'll have what's called whip knots. The air whips the hair around so fast it'll make little knots. But no, don't think that that's wrong. I don't know exactly if I'm understanding what you said properly. She's not technically doing anything wrong, unless she's, you know, force drying real close to the skin on master blaster speed. That means very, very high speed. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to scoot out of here. I'm excited to finish my video, so the next couple days that's going to be up for you. on the DUZ Dryer and its little competitor. So you guys be ready for that, because it's going to be some good information. And it may help you if you're in the market for a dryer. So stay tuned for that. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm very excited. I will put together a wonderful topic for you. This went very well, I thought, guys. Thank you. Members, thank you for everything you brought to the grooming table. And remember, if you want to have your questions answered for $1.99 a month, you can be in the chat in the toy membership level. You can ask your questions. But this went very well, guys. I want to thank you, members, for not only bringing in some good chat, but for being members and for supporting the channel and just making us very much so better together. So I'll see you guys real soon. I'm going to leave you with a subscriber showdown. I love you guys very much, and I'm very proud of everybody for taking care of their dogs and taking the time to learn more about proper care for their dogs so that they can add value to their lives. I will see you guys very soon. I love you. Here's a subscriber showdown for you. Where's my subscriber showdown? Where is it? Oh, this cloud stuff is kicking my butt. What? Oh. Huh. Hang on, guys. That's not fair. No fair. Where'd they go? I shouldn't even bother with the cloud. Now I don't have a subscriber showdown. Oh, I had a good one. Darn. Hold on. Let me see here. Where is it? Maybe it's on the desktop. I'm so confused. No, 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 not there. Oh, this cloud stuff is just kicking my... Sorry, guys. I can't... You know what? It has to download again. Why does it go away? I downloaded it earlier today, and now it has to download again. Which, that's going to take... I don't know. It took like 5 minutes, so... That's no fair. Yeah, it's not showing up. I can't see it again. Oh, it went away. Darn, no fair. Alright, well, I failed you. I'm sorry, guys. Do you want me to sing? No, I can't! I can't do anything like the subscriber showdown. There's nothing like the subscriber showdown. I had a really good one locked and loaded. Man! Alright. I'm going to have to figure something else. Anyway, guys, take care. I can't sing to you. I got nothing. I don't want to hurt your ears. I don't want to make you go away and never come back. So I'm not going to sing to you. Sing us a song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear. Are your dogs listening? Make sure they listen. I'm singing to them too. How much I love you, so please don't take my sunshine away. See you guys.